Well, today was the same stage as last year, so most of us knew the stage, and luckily it wasn't the same weather. It was freezing cold, if you guys remember last year. We wondered if we would even be able to do the stage last year. And this year was beautiful weather, and we knew it was going to be aggressive from the get-go, and we wanted to have someone represent in the breakaway. And our team was very aggressive, trying to get in there, and as we knew that we would eventually snap. But yeah, the race was super hard, and it took, I don't know, almost 40 miles until the breakaway finally was established, and that was not fun getting into it. But when we finally got away, it was obviously a really strong group, and we knew it was going to stay away. But yeah, we came back on the circuits, and it was nice and warm again, and just the fans were unbelievable down there. It was, Frank Schleck came up to me and said, "Hey, check on my my chicken skin on my arms," and just said, goosebumps all over, and it was a neat feeling to be able to race through a throng of fans, kind of like any big Grand Tour stage.
Christian, you had a baby girl born, I think, 2 weeks ago. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a little bit over 2 weeks ago.
Can you talk about what it's like to race with that sort of, I don't want to call it a distraction because that doesn't really validate it, but isn't it awfully tough to leave a baby that young and concentrate on what you're doing here? Yeah, it's been really hard. I mean, I'd be lying if I wasn't, like you said, distracted from the time we've been here till now. And today was one of the first days that I really was focused on the race and had my head in the game. Yeah, well, since the beginning, I've kind of been, I don't want to say distracted, but it is it's been on my mind a lot that I only got to spend 24 hours with her at home, so that was hard to have a new baby that you really don't know so well. And so yeah, I can't wait to get back on the plane to go back home to Chicago and go see her.
What's her name?
Her name's Madeline.
And just to follow up too, you were on the podium here last year. Obviously, there's
Yeah.
Had your brothers, would you have made that split Monday and been kind of more in the mix for the GC?
Yeah, I think that was a blessing in disguise, in all honesty. I think a lot of times I ride above my level in this, and I really paid the price for weeks to come after this race. And my form isn't as high as it has been in the past, and at the same time, the field is so much stronger than the years past, and the racing that much more aggressive, and the actual course being really, really difficult with more mountains and horrible weather for the first 3 days. So it's been great. I mean, Zabrisky's been riding amazing, so it's fun to support him, and both him and Tom Danielson. So it's a long season, and sometimes playing a supportive role is that's my natural habitat anyway. So I like riding there and support my team, and I know that it will come back 360 degrees later in July.
Christian, you may have already answered the question, but there's a lot of crashes in bike racing, we all know that, but is there anything particular about this race why there have been crashes involving some very well-known riders?
Yeah, I mean, it's a horrible fact of the spring. A lot of guys haven't been racing together, or been training for miles and miles and miles by yourself, and then you throw them back into the throng, racing together, and just your skills aren't up to par. A lot of times, or somebody's getting a little bit too nervous when there's a lot of pressure you put on yourselves, and people are getting tired, and so you just make silly mistakes. And it's a horrible thing, but it just happens. Every spring there's always a bad crash and a lot of broken collarbones, a lot of unfortunate things like with Ken Kirshen, who's an awesome rider and he has amazing handling skills and just made a silly mistake. And also in California they have those dots everywhere, and they're just like landmines. Yeah, and those things really cause a lot of accidents. So.
With the expansion of the tour this year and the great cause that it's affecting, branching into Pasadena, do you feel this is really world-class now? Do you think it's joined the status of the Tour de France in a lot of ways?
Oh yeah, but I think this is, I don't think this, every year they always make comparisons, and I don't think this race is given the credit that it deserves from day one. I think this has been a world-class race since day one in 2006. And, I don't know what needs to happen for it to become, a great race, because it is a great race. If you just take a look at the top 60 of this race, the names that are coming, people even, just in the gruppetto, you know, like Carlos, and just won the Tour de France. You know, it's like, so this race is amazing. They take great care of us, great hotels, great fans, great racing. I don't know how much more it needs to do to become a great race.
Tristan, do you see any chance of Levi being overtaken tomorrow, or is Astana too good to let that happen?
Astana's obviously unbelievably strong team. They're doing a great job. But, you know, you saw a lot of aggressive racing today, and everyone's getting tired. So, you know, but that's why bike racing is a great sport. You know, anything can happen, and you know, of course, we're not going to just roll over and let them have it tomorrow. So we'll give them a good race.